Now let's talk about, so far we've gone over the booking strategy. The pricing strategy is looking at the comparative market analysis and pricing accordingly. Don't be a hog, be a pig, okay? And if you're a pig, you're gonna get fed well. You're gonna more than cover your maintenance fees. You're gonna have profit in your pocket. All right. Now you can have the best week in the system for rent. You could have, got on there and picked the great ski unit and like, wow, I got the 2-bedroom, like super titanium week, like, woo, it's perfect. Don's going to be so proud of me. This is great. Right. But you have it priced perfectly, but if you're not marketing it correctly, like they say in the marketing, hey, you could be, if you can have the greatest product or service, but if nobody knows about it, right? So let's go ahead and talk about the marketing channels that I use besides my own website, but I use these all the time. Okay. We have what's called VRBO, which is Vacation Rental by Owner. All right. We have Red Week, which I've talked at length about using for comparative market analysis. We also have Craigslist. Okay. So let's go ahead and talk about Vacation Rental by Owner. I'm going to talk about it, and then I'm going to show you online an example. So look at Vacation Rental by Owner, VRBO, which is owned by HomeAway, which was purchased by Expedia about a year ago. It's a 700-pound gorilla of timeshare vacation rental marketing sites. It's actually the 700-pound gorilla of all vacation rental marketing sites. And they have over 700,000 listings in their North American region alone. Now think of marketing your timeshare with Vacation Rental by Owner as the Madison Avenue approach to promoting your rentals. Now with VRBO, you can feature up to 24 beautiful pictures. Here, let me just jump into an example here. You can, you have great pictures, slides. You can put in as many pictures as you like. You can put in some great, start putting in some great content about it. Set a calendar, so forth and so on. And it's easy on the eyes. It has huge SEO juice. What do I mean by SEO juice? Hold on, get back into here. SEO juice is search engine optimization. Quite simply, it means that when you type in a name of, we can do that. When you type in a name of any product, whether it be cat food or shoes or whatever, if it shows up on the first page of Google search, it means that the company is widely known. It's done a great job of marketing, and they're going to get the lion's share of business. So when we take a look at, for example, Grand Ocean, you'll see 6 or 7 down, Vacation Rental by Owner. Just below Expedia, which by the way is ironic because it owns VRBO. Yelp is in there, Booking.com, and the rest are TripAdvisor and Marriott's. All right. So VRBO is a very powerful platform. All right. But all these bells and whistles come at a price. You got high listing cost, considerable setup time, and ongoing maintenance of listings to optimize the performance. Changing out pictures might be something you need to do. Calendar setting. And the annual cost, the listing cost, is generally about $500 a year. Now you can do a, pay as you go, have no subscription fee, and pay a percentage of your rental as a commission to VRBO, but that can add up. So I would recommend VRBO if you have a number of weeks. And when we talked about the demand first, if you're able to book this property, using points, then you might want to have a VRBO listing open, and then you might do 3 or 4 rentals a year because you're able to, maybe somebody's coming to you saying, hey, I want this week in next July, and you can book it with points. Or you could do the supply first. You could book 4 or 5 weeks in July through August if you have, or 1 week or whatever. It makes more sense with 2 or 3 or 4 more weeks due to the high cost. But you can do supply first too, where you're picking those weeks and you're opening your calendar just for those weeks that you have secured. All right. All right. So let's go and look at the next. Oops. Sorry. Oh, here we go. Oops. Go over here. Go down. Let's go into the next. All right, sorry. I just have to click through these real quick. We just talked about VRBO. And the pros with VRBO is the beautiful graphics, great content, huge marketplace. expensive, time-consuming to maintain, administration. And we look at Redweek. It is the de facto online marketplace. And I did mention this in module 2 about resales. I feel like Facebook is starting to catch up with Redweek, more so in resales than rentals. And at some point, Facebook may evolve to become the de facto online marketplace for rentals, for timeshare rentals. But for right now, it's very much in Redweek's court. So there is an annual membership, and I mentioned I think it's about $18, and there's listing fees about $30 per week, but it's a fraction of VRBO's costing, of VRBO's cost rather. However, the problem with Redweek, the big pro is that everybody knows about it. I'm going to talk about how that's very important. That everybody knows about it in the timeshare industry. So the negative is it's a line item. I've had people say to me, "You want me to put it on Redweek?" Who sells anything for $2,900? You see a view of posting. There's really not a lot of content and pictures. You're going off one picture. There's more pictures, but it's not that charismatic when you compare it to VRBO. Okay, but the important thing about it is that let's go ahead and get back into the slide. I want to talk about Redweek a little bit more. Let's use the pros and cons of Redweek. It's inexpensive compared to VRBO. It's a huge market, not as big as VRBO, right? But if you type in, say, Grand Ocean or any kind of property, chances are that Redweek will be maybe not number 7 down the list, but maybe number 8 or number 9 on Google, right? And here's the big thing. Not everybody knows Redweek, but all the brokers know Redweek. And they're your funnels. They're the ones that are bringing you clients. So they're bringing people from all different marketplaces, maybe through VRBO or through Craigslist or through their own websites, and they're going to go and funnel down into Redweek. And somebody's going to tell them, "Hey, I want a week at the Diamond Resort, or I want a week at the Disney property." Well, they'll go to Redweek if they don't have the inventory, and they'll come to you and they'll say, "Hey, would it be okay to purchase your week when you put our client onto the reservation?" That's usually a win because they're going to pay you, generally speaking, upfront, full. And they're going to assume the liability and responsibility. And if there's any issues, the owner, that renter is going to be contacting them, not you. And you're getting paid. That's like the big thing. So whether you're getting paid by an owner or by a broker, the main goal here is to cover your main fees and then some. As I mentioned, it's not as sexy or as appealing as VRBO. And it is a smaller market than VRBO and Craigslist. It's less well known, but those that are in the know, a lot of the owners, more and more people, because it's such a high line item on SEO searches. People are starting to know about it. There is a barrier to entry. It does cost $18. So a lot of people say, maybe I won't go into Redweek because I don't want to pay for something without knowing if it's going to work. But there's 1.5 million. I believe it's 1.5 million members at this point. It's every year gets bigger and bigger. So it's definitely the go-to. Craigslist. All right. Now, Craigslist combines the VRBO platform functionality of adding beautiful photos and content space with no cost. The low cost that Redweek enjoys there's no cost. So why do I have this listed last? Well, let's go ahead and I went the wrong way. Let's go to look at a listing. So you have nice pictures. This is the Grand Ocean Hilton Head. You can put some nice content in there. But why I haven't chosen to I did that again. Let me get over here. Where are Craigslist? Why I don't use it, or it's not my go-to. I do use it, but it's not my go-to. Like I said, no, it's free. It's relatively easy listing setup. You can encrypt, meaning that you can keep your email kind of hidden. They don't have your contact information. The negatives are low ballers. Scammers, I do have a resource guide in the PDF that I've created to help, protect yourself on any type of Craigslist transaction. But the low ballers are what I don't like. I get people coming in saying, "Oh, will you take, $800 and you have it listed for $3,600." But it is a great addendum. In other words, if I have a week and I have it on VRBO and I'm using it for Red Week and I'm getting down to the wire and it's not moving, I'll put it on Craigslist. It takes 10 minutes to put up a listing and it's free. So I would say that Craigslist is definitely an option to take a look at. Now that we've got pricing, booking, pricing, and marketing strategies, now we're looking at how to complete these transactions. Okay, so I've got a listing up on Craigslist, or I got a listing up on VRBO or Red Week, and I got somebody biting. All right. Well, keep calm and wrap it up. So, like, what's my cancellation policy going to be like? You know, how do I handle that? How would I negotiate with the renter? I mean, I mentioned before that if you've got a good price, stand your ground, be confident. But the rental agreement, which rental agreement should I use? Should I use a deposit or a full payment policy? What payment methods should I be thinking about? And how do I add a guest on reservation? Well, don't worry. This is going to be in our bonus module of how to wrap it up for rentals as well as resales. We'll hit all these points. And again, if you're in a particular transaction, I'll show you in a case study here in a second, where I had a client who was working with the rental and he just emailed me back and forth and we got on the phone call and I showed him what to do and it's very easy. So we're going to be handling like the back end of the rentals in that bonus module.